There, we have sound for sure. I can
Oh,
actually see it. Oh, but I'm frozen on the screen again. Oh, god damn it. Okay,
okay.
it'll unfreeze itself in good time. Yeah. We're back this time with sound, so we have to kind of do a bit of a do-over. Um,
Oh,
we could talk about the war in Ukraine, but that's kind of been going on for 6 weeks now. We're starting to see the
yeah.
the retreat of Russia and their spin to say, "Oh, we never meant to take Kyiv."
Never
No,
meant
not
to
at
what?
all. No. Right. Yeah, we
Oh,
believe you.
Kiev. Yeah, yeah, Kiev. Finally, I heard a Russian person saying Kiev. I don't know, a couple of days ago. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, when did it become Kyiv?
I know. Yeah, chicken Kiev.
Maybe it was always Kyiv. Maybe we were just
Maybe.
speaking Russian and didn't know it. I don't know. The
No, I've
yeah,
never heard it pronounced Kiev till.
yeah. Till this whole thing came up, I
Yeah.
same. At least Odessa is still Odessa. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
we're seeing the retreat of the Russians now, um, and it's not a tactical retreat because they're hightailing it out, and the Ukrainians are just mauling them in ambushes, and it's just ugly. Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's bad, but Putin is not going to stop. I don't think until he has uh, not just Ukraine, but the Baltic states, Poland probably. He's headed. If he's not stopped now, he's headed for a clash with NATO, because Poland is a NATO country. So is Romania. Uh, I think Estonia as well. Estonia is. Um, Trying to think of who else. I mean, I have. It's been so long since I've actually looked at the list of NATO countries, and I had no idea that Poland had become part of NATO until just recently. So if he wants
Yeah.
Poland back as part of a new Russian empire, he's going to have some problems. Hard to read
Yeah.
Putin at this point. He's he's very paranoid. He has food tasters. Like
I
like the
bet.
days of
Well, that's
old.
a Russian tradition, isn't it? Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Otherwise, they could be poisoned, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's afraid of
Surprising.
that, I guess, and he's afraid of everything. I mean, he's got a whole security apparatus around him, uh, FSO, I think it's called, and yeah, they don't let anybody in. You see on the videos of him talking to his generals. His generals are like 30 feet away down this long table.
Mm.
Like that's pretty. The optics of that are interesting.
Yeah.
That he doesn't want anyone close to him. Yeah. So hopefully the U.S. will increase its military spending uh, with regards to Ukraine. I'm a little miffed at them right now because uh, Czechoslovakia is actually providing more financial in monetary terms uh, military aid to Ukraine than the U.S. is. Luxembourg is
Yeah.
comparable. Like it's the U.S. is providing 800 million in military support. Luxembourg's 250 million. Czechoslovakia is 1 billion. How does Czechoslovakia do that and not the U.S.? Like what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Putin. If you're going to stop Putin, do it now. While he's down, uh, militarily speaking, he cannot handle another front. He definitely doesn't want NATO entering into the fray. And he's rattling the saber against the Japanese, which is interesting.
Mm.
Because the Japanese, they're still in a state of war. Russia and Japan have never made up. And in the north of Japan, there's a bunch of islands that Russia thinks is theirs, and they've sent the military there. I don't know how that's gonna. If he wants two fronts, give it to him. You know.
Um, yeah, we're just, I don't know. over the North Pole, aren't we? In a sense, right? As Sarah Palin, I can see Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's yeah. It's a
Strategically, it could be, you know.
yeah. The Russian military isn't all it's cracked up to be. I mean, you had, like I said, in the episode Sans Sound, that instead of shock and awe, we got shockingly awful.
Yeah.
It was brutal. Uh, they still don't have air superiority over the Ukrainians, and the drone strikes are just demolishing. Uh, they're taking out armored vehicles right and left. Artillery. They're doing things stupidly. They're actually in their transportation. They're clustered. They're very close together, and makes it really easy for artillery to, once they get the range zeroed in, multiple, one hit and you get 2 or 3 vehicles in one shot. It's
Yeah.
stupid. And they're also making it very easy for the Ukrainians to ambush them. When they move in with their armor, they have no infantry support. So there's nobody checking off to the sides, and you cannot see squat from a tank. I mean, it's just like all you see is
Yeah.
what's in front of you, and nothing else until you're just, your ass is 100 feet in the air.
Yeah.
It's just these are very poorly trained troops. The Ukrainians are actually better trained, thanks to countries such as Canada and the United States, because we train
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Their
UK
pilots are
goes
better,
to-
even though
Yeah.
they're using Soviet era aircraft against fifth generation jet fighters. They have the best of both worlds. They trained originally under Soviet style tactics in air battles, but then now they had the Americans come and train them, so they know what the Russians are doing, how they do things, but they also know how to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Much better pilots in the U.S. than in Russia or China. I think China's going to have a bit of an issue when they go up against Taiwan. I think they're going to get their nose bloodied pretty badly, and that's even before the Americans and the Japanese and the Australians get into the mix. Taiwan has a very, very modern military, and it's all volunteer, if I remember. No, it's not all volunteer. They have to serve for. It's kind of like Austria, where you have to serve for a little while, but the ones that stick around, of course, they're volunteers, and the
Volunteers are like career.
those career.
So
They're
they
the
get
big
paid
career, right?
for it. Yeah. Yeah.
So you do
Yeah.
most probably do their time and then go off and do something else,
Yeah.
like Schwarzenegger did. He did his 2 years and then went off, and I don't know what he did during his time in the military. Probably just spent all the time in the gym.
Probably.
But they're a modern military. They have the best equipment. They have American, fighters. They have all the bells and whistles, and so have fun, China. I think you're biting off more than you could chew. I really do think that. When's the last time China was in a war?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Taiwanese spend all their every living moment worrying about China invading. So they're motivated.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how motivated the Chinese military might be motivated, because there's this whole one China thing, but I don't know how that's going to play in the minds of your average soldier.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it will be interesting once the shooting war, and it will happen. It's not an if, it's a when. But
Have you heard of that dance troupe? Um, what the heck? I keep seeing ads for them on Facebook.
oh,
They're hmm?
I bet I know what you're talking about. Uh,
Well, Falun Gong is
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
cult
yeah,
behind it, right? I can't
yeah,
remember the name of the show now, but yeah,
yeah. It's
yeah.
kind of a front for Falun Gong,
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
and
and they're touring. They purport to, I guess, dissent against the government because they're showing what true China was like before communism, that kind of thing. It's I'm
yeah,
kind of
well,
fascinated by that. Yeah, in the future.
yeah. They don't. The Chinese, the CCP doesn't like religions very
No,
much.
no,
Yeah, they're not big on that. And yet the whole society is built on it has the vestiges of traditional Chinese religions. And have a
that's true. Yeah,
weird mix of yeah, atheism and religion.
yeah. And Chinese New Year, I guess you weren't allowed to celebrate that in China until I don't know a few years back or whatever kind of thing, right?
Oh,
So
that's
celebrated
probably
everywhere.
because of, yeah, I bet you the Gang of Four got, during the Cultural Revolution, which really broke China.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, if you try to suppress religion, it's going to emerge anyway, right?
yeah,
Um,
it
yeah,
hides and grows. Yeah,
yeah. I
and
mean, I'm not religious, obviously, but Mom and I and Kara celebrated Chinese New Year. We tend to do that just because
I
it's
celebrate
fun.
Christmas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, so do I.
Of course, I
Well,
don't. It has nothing to do with Jesus to me. I mean,
no,
it's
it's family time,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, exactly.
appreciation time, Yeah,
Drinking, relaxing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Expressing your appreciation for the people you love, Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can coax this to. Huh. Trying to coax the screen to. Oh wait, there's a refresh. And it and it just oh, there we go. I disappeared for a while. There. Hey,
Okay.
refresh.
I'm switching back
Anyway,
and forth.
yeah. So there's that. Of course, we've. Let's maybe bring that up.
You're still frozen on Skype.
It takes there's a delay. Oh, I'm frozen on Skype.
Frozen, yeah, yeah.
Oh well, I'm not frozen on the feed.
Okay. Maybe you're not, and I'm just seeing it. I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Leah Thomas was the first transgender woman to win at the NCAA swimming championships. She won the 500 meters, or is it meters or yards? Because sometimes they do the old
They're
units.
pretty close, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Just
it's a difference. Yeah.
it depends on
Yeah.
like track. I think they use yards
Okay.
in NCAA for some strange reason. Um, and the field included a couple of Olympic medalists. Yeah, didn't see this coming. Nope, never thought it would
Mm.
happen. Jeez, this is
Yeah.
as a man, this person was a mediocre swimmer.
Mm.
But as a woman, no problems beating out Olympic medalists. It's just this is wrong. Okay, this is just wrong,
Yeah.
and it's not. It's you can't forget the 18 plus years that this person developed male. It doesn't go away
Yeah.
because you're
Yeah.
blocking testosterone. It doesn't, this, the height, the arm, the spread of the arms, yeah, muscle placement, muscle distribution.
Yeah.
None of that goes away. and maybe
Well,
some strength goes away, but not,
okay,
you know,
yeah.
not the proportion of fast to slow twitch muscle. Certainly not the height and the I want to say girth, but that's not the right word. Uh, hand
Well, it's in
wingspan is about the only thing I
proportion.
come up with. Yeah, what's that?
It's in proportion to her height. You know, she's a big woman, obviously, um, very tall. You know,
Men and women have different proportions of leg and
yeah,
arm uh, lengths, and of course then there's the hips, which are completely different. I mean, I
that's
can't
true.
cross my legs.
Oh,
That's a guy thing. Well, I can, but it's awkward, right?
because balls or just because
No,
muscles?
just because
Okay.
I could say I have really big balls, but
He's got
I
big
should have. If
balls.
I was
We've
faster,
got big
my
balls.
brain is not firing on all cylinders these days.
Yeah, set you up.
Uh,
You know that song by AC/DC, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a good song.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to. Would you like to say hello to Skylar, my daughter's boyfriend?
Oh,
Yeah.
hello.
He's just coming in now. He will be on camera shortly. You're on camera?
You're not on
Say
camera.
hello.
Yeah.
He's not on camera. There he is.
Hello.
Skylar.
Hello.
Yeah. He's what are you? He likes Trump. Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
Trump.
Mega,
Trump.
mega this,
Yeah.
mega that.
Yeah, there's nothing in between for that guy. Everything's either the best ever or it's the worst.
Yeah.
So yeah, he and I have
I'm just
interesting
anti-Biden.
and fun discussions, right? You know.
Yeah.
I just hate.
Yeah.
We usually
No, let's
agree
not
on
get on
most
that
things.
topic. No, oh, gotta get off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get. My blood pressure's gonna go up if I think about that guy. I just hate
Yeah.
that guy. I've never thought there'd be a politician like him. Just what a
Oh,
piece
I'm
of
sorry for the
shit.
headphones on. Can you give me a couple of seconds?
Sure, I can talk about
that
Kamala
way.
Harris's word
Yeah.
salad. She's trying to sound intelligent and
Oh God.
failing miserably.
Here, I'm gonna.
Uh,
Do you mind if
know.
Skylar joins us?
Sure, go
it'll
ahead.
probably be fun
Yeah.
because you two are, similar in
Well,
your.
I'm not a Trump supporter, but I don't hate Trump.
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
say you're a Trumpster.
I think
But,
Trump
Tom-
is a bit of a psychopath.
Yeah.
Who, Trump. Yeah. Yeah. Highly.
Yeah, I don't think Trump would pass the psychopath test. Actually,
Really?
a lot of
He
CEOs
wouldn't be a
won't.
psychopath?
So
Yeah.
CEOs are terrible.
Yeah, you know what? He's got some. Yeah, he's not a normal human.
You know, he doesn't actually look like a
Yeah,
human.
there might be some.
His
social-
pallor is
yeah.
rather interesting.
I don't think he empathizes too much. Yeah.
No, that's what I mean, right? It's one
Yeah, I
of
know what you mean,
the
yeah.
hallmarks of the psychopath.
He's
Um,
pretty blunt.
he's missing the charisma, like the
That's
like-
all he's got.
Yeah. That's what I
charisma.
think
No,
too.
I don't think he has charisma at all.
Oh, he is too charismatic. The people don't know how to handle him.
Well, I mean,
He's like,
holds those
he's
freaking
too
rallies
blunt,
shit,
and he's
right?
like, he's supposed to be more PC. than-
Oh, I don't want anybody PC. I have no interest
Call it how it
in
is. People don't know.
political
He's-
correctness. Political correctness is all it's done is made malignant narcissism, an acceptable behavior, and anything to do with social justice today, it's a narcissism factory. These people are all about victimhood, which is clinical malignant narcissism. It's hard to say.
I sent that article by Stuart Hall, or that, I guess it was Keynote. Stuart Hall.
Yeah, I never read it because it was just so
It is
Heavy.
long.
heavy. It was really jargon.
It's a pretty good outline, and the Birmingham School, one of the key institutes of putting forth critical theory. He
Ugh.
expresses worry about how Americans are taking it up, right? And of course, like the Frankfurt School,
Stop dividing us.
The Frankfurt School is yeah, it
yeah, critical theory
goes all the way back to those,
too, right?
you know,
Yeah, they're criticizing the rise of Nazism. So this
yeah.
there's an interesting
Yeah. Well, they
history.
were also communists, so let's just be straight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They were
Well-
pure Marxists.
I remember being in school, like junior high, and fascists were on the right? But yeah, the Third Reich was pretty. They were pretty like a socialist type of.
yeah, in a sense, because
In a
they're
sense.
after World War One, their country was pretty much devastated, and so it was easy to leverage young people to serve, and yeah, he turned around the economy, and that's part of what made him
Yeah, and then Biden broke it.
successful. Biden what?
Biden is so duplicitous, and
Doesn't know what he's doing. He's a puppet.
he doesn't. What does he do? I want to know what he actually does. What has he actually done? I mean, he's done nothing,
Oh.
and it's just gotten worse. Oh, except for paying people not to work. I mean-
Okay, so we had our little trucker fucking rallies and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
The truckers are great.
Okay,
COVID's gone because of the truckers.
COVID's not gone.
Nah.
Anyway, like the Americans.
Oh, all the mandates are gone all of a sudden. Just
Okay.
coincidence.
Okay, so I've been traveling back and forth to the U.S., right?
Yeah.
And so to get into the U.S., you needed to have one of those 24-hour tests the rapid test
Right.
within 24 hours before you went on a flight, right? And you needed to show proof of vaccination, right? So now Canada, you don't need a test to come back if you can show you're fully vaccinated. Okay?
That's
Um,
okay. Seeing as there are a lot of people who have been vaccinated, who have COVID,
Yeah.
Right.
isn't
Yes, that's true. Okay, but here's the thing. Well, the Americans were
Pisses me off.
blathering on about, Trudeau's a fucking fascist and, thinking that we'd actually, brought the fucking military in as opposed to the RCMP.
He froze
and
bank
all
accounts.
that.
We
Well,
were in
that's
a
fucking,
dictatorship.
that
at
is
that point.
bullshit. That's bullshit. But the emergency thing, that was the RCMP. And, OPP.
Yeah,
he could have just said RCMP go in. He doesn't need. He did not need. There was no emergency. He
The way
did
they-
not need it.
The way that it's being perceived in the U.S. is like, Trudeau's a fascist and Canadians are going to lose their rights. And, once this
We
happens, it's
did.
never going to. Well, yeah, but
Actually, yeah,
Okay.
you do lose your
They were
civil
brought
liberties.
right?
Yeah, after the
Okay.
truckers told him to fuck off.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? So now when I go to the U.S., I have to do the test. I have to show my proof of vaccination, and now there's a major fucking 7-8 page form I have to fill out. Yay! Well, you guys were thinking that we're a bunch of goddamn idiots that voted in a goddamn fascist.
He's not a fascist.
They lost the
He's
freedom right under their goddamn nose, right?
he's a
Authoritarian.
he's woke, which is even worse.
Yeah. He's a
Yeah.
blackface woke.
Yeah, he's a hypocrite. I mean, I don't care about blackface. I really don't.
It's just,
No,
it's
me
just
neither.
ironic
Yeah.
to me.
But it's
that
just the
with
hypocrisy of it.
Blathering on about how bad it is in Canada and yada yada yada. Right under their very fucking noses was one of now they have the freedom to fill out a goddamn 7-page form as well as the rest of the stuff they had to do.
You're
We
not an
changed-
American citizen, are you?
No, but if you leave if you're an American and you leave and you want to go back, you still have to fill out that form as well.
Yeah,
as
I'm
all the
wondering if the well, maybe I'd have to find out about that, but it might.
I can
if-
show you.
uh,
I mean, if it changes.
What do you mean you
from
can
day to
show me? You're not an American.
day. I can show you the documentation I have to
That you have
Yep.
to,
to
but
get
does an
from-
American citizen have to?
Yes, if they leave the U.S.
Oh,
and they
okay.
want to come back, they have to deal with that shit. So yay, yeah.
And just to counterpoint on the the calling Trudeau a fascist, the networks in the States were calling the truckers insurrectionists. and they were trying to foment a coup.
Uh,
So it works both ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, well, it's still going on, aren't they? These freedom protests, right? I don't think it flew in the U.S. They were so busy focusing on Canada.
Yeah, you're allowed
that
to
they were
protest anything but the government.
Well, I don't know. I found it bizarre. Like, what are we gonna do? Harper was our last prime minister, who appointed a creationist as our minister of science and technology.
Yikes.
Yeah,
I didn't know about
let's
that.
Well, let's vote him back in again. Come on.
Well, no,
come
I
on.
mean, lesser two evils.
It's not a
Yeah.
dichotomy. It's not a dichotomy.
It's not, but I mean, I wasn't going to vote for Harper. Of course.
And
you-
I neither was I at the time, but I'm ready to vote for anybody else now.
well, it's just, like,
This
I
guy
found it
is.
very patronizing. Oh, those poor Canadians are losing their rights. And I'm just thinking, oh my God.
We did lose our rights.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not like
Don't roll your eyes. Yeah.
we lost our civil liberties.
a few days. And
For-
then they were
That
gonna
doesn't
move-
matter. Why does that matter?
Lost our rights.
I'm talking about the
Christine, why does that matter? I don't care if it's for 1 second.
because
Yeah, it took 2 years for us to stand our ground.
I don't have a problem with bringing the RCMP to help.
Yeah.
I have a.
But how did that? How did he? Why did he need the to invoke a national emergency to do that? He didn't. He could have just done it.
No, I don't know about the legalities and that kind of thing. Fine, but like I think Americans think that we brought in the fucking tanks and guns.
It's happened
and the
before.
militaries, Yeah, but
And what is bizarre to me is that when Pierre Trudeau did it, the government almost collapsed. It was a massive scandal, and historians are still debating it, whether or not it was the right thing to do. This was frivolous. This was.
enough. But I just think it got way blown out of proportion.
He blew it out of proportion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one. He blew it out of proportion. He declared a national emergency.
Well, I think if the OPP and the Ottawa police couldn't handle it, then what are you going to do, right?
Handle what?
He called in the RCMP. He handled it. So where was the need for the Emergencies Act?
Yeah, disturbing
The Emergencies Act was unnecessary to do what Trudeau did.
I could be on your side about that, but
He just wanted to hurt the people that supported the truckers, and that's it. He wanted to have the power to freeze bank accounts.
Well, that's crap.
so
Yes.
Chris, if let's say a government was
He's a
to-
vindictive piece of shit.
Let's say the government was going to be a vindictive piece of shit. What do we do about it? We can start with
Yeah, well, I don't know, because,
Right?
I think in the West, and probably everywhere but Southern Ontario, feels very disenfranchised. We don't feel that we have any real power to change anything, because Southern Ontario is always going to vote woke.
Okay, but the people that lived in Ottawa were complaining about
Yeah.
noise going on all night.
Sure,
And,
okay.
stuff like that, right?
And
And so Americans are saying to me, I'm not throwing all Americans in one basket. Some Americans that I spoke to, oh shit, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, just like saying Canada this and
Shit, what was the saying before that? I just totally lost my train of thought there.
saying about just our government and stuff like that. No.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I was piecing together there. Ah, shit.
Shit.
Oh yeah, they were saying, sorry. Well, it's not like Antifa. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what we don't want here is shit like, like
Apples
Whatever.
and orange. No.
riots. We don't, the destruction wasn't like it was in the U.S. with, BLM and all the things, right?
Not.
And I'm just thinking, yeah, we don't want that shit here. We're going to shut it down before it happens. Like, yeah.
but it was never going to happen.
There was no. I would bet my bottom dollar that no, there wasn't. They were peacefully protesting.
Yeah, but you're
They were loud.
they were loud, and that's illegal. And
Ah,
that's,
well.
And they turned off their horns.
Yeah, they had to.
oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that actually.
They complied.
Yeah. Well, and I have to say, if I were, much as I disagree, not so much with their point, but with their tactics, I would have been out there feeding, helping people eat that had no access to their bank accounts too, right?
What was wrong with their
But
tactics?
I still think it was silly.
Oh, maybe, but I think people were fed up.
But
Yeah.
when the government
And we have to show the government that sometimes. This is not.
power.
This is far from being anti-democratic. This is actually what happens in a healthy democracy.
Right.
Though somebody might want to tell
Yeah.
Justin Trudeau that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I totally support people's right to protest. Until
it
you're
was.
interfering with other people's right to, I don't like it when leftists fucking tie up the traffic in Calgary because they're jumping off the goddamn.
Yeah, neither do I.
And shit, right?
I don't like it either.
thank
But
you.
that's kind of the point.
Just,
But there's
Yeah,
degrees of just.
well, I'm not going to listen. If I'm stuck in traffic because somebody's being an idiot, even if I agree with them, I'm like, you're inconveniencing me and half the goddamn city.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
they get the exposure.
Try a different
That's
way.
the important
Yeah.
part for them.
The peace,
right?
But I mean,
Well, I don't know if I brought this up last time, but they could have, I don't know, lined themselves up all along the highway and put crosses on their backs and
They
whatever.
kind of did.
Well, whatever.
In fact,
They
it was
could've
like
done-
the
could've
whole
gotten
way.
the attention without having to disrupt,
I
U.S.
think
and
they did
Canada
it the
trade and
best.
shit like that, right?
I think they should have stood their ground
Millions
harder.
of dollars.
No, they what? No,
Trade being delayed.
trade.
because
Yeah,
of
sure.
shit. Yeah,
it disrupted it, but
yeah.
so would mandates. Mandates would have disrupted it too.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
So
They disrupted the economy for 2 years.
yeah,
What's
we're done with it. We're finished. Let's get back to the business of living.
yeah.
I'm done with it.
We're all done with it.
Now
we're all
that
done with it.
now
but,
that the government said COVID's over, so
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't listen to science or anything.
Oh, I want to talk to you about. Oh yeah, I'll just mention a couple things.
when science can't be debated, it's not fucking science. When you get censored
Well-
about talking about
Well, Randy is an MRI scientist, and he was, let go under Harper. You can speak.
Yeah,
to
but
this.
I'd still vote for him now over Justin Trudeau. I'd take anybody. I am done with this guy. This isn't the first thing he's done that is bypasses Parliament. And one of the things he did was
He's an
to
idiot.
ban military-style weapons. I don't know what that means. I mean, guns usually have a trigger you squeeze at one end and the bullet goes out the other. That's the only style I know about.
Well, I think in the U.S. they get funding for, like literally things like tanks and shit like that, right? It's different here, Oh, I can't hear you anymore.
I'm just saying, trying to figure out why it's different.
Because we don't
it's a social war.
have the, I guess, budgetary
Wait, what do you?
need
No. What do you? No.
justify,
No.
cranking out-
No. You misread what I said.
Okay.
This is prohibiting citizens from owning military-style weapons. That's
Is that anything new?
2 years ago.
Why
Yeah.
would citizens need to own military equipment?
Can you
It
imagine?
didn't say military equipment.
Okay.
Military style.
Okay.
What does that mean?
AK-47,
Yeah.
like a fully automatic.
Well, you couldn't have a fully automatic
Yeah.
weapon. So what? That's been all along. But an AR-15 is not a semi-automatic. Is not an automatic. But you can't own one. Why? Squeeze trigger one end, bullet goes out the other. But that was I can't remember what it's called. It's something I had never heard of before. It's like an executive order in the U.S. He doesn't have to go through Parliament.
Oh.
I have
Well,
a problem with
that's-
that.
Yeah.
I have a big problem with that.
Like I said, he's an idiot, but I don't think he's a fascist. I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
he's
we're-
dangerous.
In the past month, I've been
Yeah.
so back and forth about
He's proven to be dangerous.
arms.
Yeah, he's actually my Trump stepson to be, my Trump fan's stepson, whatever.
I want
no,
DeSantis
son,
to run, not Trump.
Son-in-law.
I think
Daughter's
that might be a better option, just because people on the fence just hear Trump and like.
Well,
"Ah."
you know, people complain about Biden being divisive. Well, Trump is too.
Yeah, just a shit show down there.
Oh, he's
No,
totally
they
divisive.
bring up.
Yeah.
They just make reasons to try and make him seem divisive. I don't know. I think Trump's doing it all right. No president not to be involved in a war in 50 years. He's done more.
Well,
for black
he was
than
still
I ever did,
presiding
like-
over Afghanistan, but yeah.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
And I don't agree that we should be out of Afghanistan. But,
yeah. That pissed a lot of people off, especially
well, I didn't
Nope.
tell anybody Biden didn't tell anybody he was leaving. I was like,
Yeah.
when are we going to tell us?
Yeah, no, that was obviously planned. Like, man.
Well, that
that's-
was a deal that was struck by Trump
You're seeing that
with
this past
the
2 years.
Taliban.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think we should ever be doing deals with the Taliban. But
Never.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a deal. They just left.
it was an agreement. Well, no, originally Trump made a deal with the Taliban that they wouldn't attack and they would leave on March 1st.
Right.
And then Biden got in, and March 1st came and went, so whatever. And came to end of August, and all of a sudden it was just like, we got to get out right now. I was like, what?
Remember when Trump told off Kim Jong Un, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna start like World War III," and it's like, no, he just put him in his place.
Yeah, we also praised him. Oh, we write love letters back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Well, Trump was a big supporter of Putin.
Yeah, like, yeah, I think
And
they
people
had
forget
some
that.
kind of respect for each other. Like, Putin doesn't respect Biden either.
No, Putin doesn't respect anyone.
Yeah, they didn't respect
No,
each
yeah.
other.
But Biden, I don't
Is he
respect.
part of the World Economic Forum though too? That Putin guy.
Yeah, with Biden, I don't see anyone respecting him. I don't think he's really respected by even what he would consider allies. The French foreign minister called Biden Trump without the tweets. So
Yeah.
he's not really
Sure.
that very well respected in the
I
world.
think a lot of people voted him in because Kamala. Sorry, I'm.
Comma.
And leaving Americans behind in Afghanistan was just unconscionable.
I'm
I couldn't believe it.
pronouncing But the vice president.
Yeah, she's pretty dumb, stupid too.
Yeah. Oh God.
You know,
Oh.
she's been engaging in word salad, lately, talking
That's
about
such a condescending way. Like,
the Jamaican. She was talking about helping
Nancy
Jamaica.
Pelosi just seemed wasted all the time.
I'm gonna. There was also this thing about the passage of time. Have you heard that one?
Which one?
The passage of time she was talking about.
Yes, I did hear about that.
It is
I watched.
Utterly bizarre.
This is weird what comes out of their mouth. And Trump, he'll speak in front of 50,000 people and no teleprompter, he just straight from the heart.
She can't think. Here, I want to play it here.
12 minutes now
You
after
see,
the hour.
this is
Every
how
time
we
you
do it
see
in
Kamala
Canada.
Harris
We
speak,
can
you
have a
wonder,
disagreement.
did things get worse?
And
The
you
answer could
still
depend on
might,
almost every other
right?
issue,
Yeah, that's
especially when
right.
she has
Randy,
to
where are you
ad-lib
from?
and talk from the heart or extemporaneously about the issues she
he's
should have
American
thoroughly
African.
digested.
I do.
This on the heels of news
Where do
that
you
she lost her
reside?
10th staffer who thought, there's got to be something better for me to do.
Yeah, the 10th
Let's
staffer
see, here it
quit
goes.
Kamala's office. She's
Oh,
the latest
no.
to resign.
Oh,
She
come
was her
on.
national
the
secretary advisor.
actual-
You can see there on the screen all the people that have quit over the last.
Head over.
Where is it? I
Here
gotta
she
find
is
the-
yesterday in Sunset, Louisiana, talking about the significance of the passage of time. See if you can follow this logic.
The governor and I, and we were all doing a tour of the library here, and talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
Somebody should come
What
up
the
with
hell
a
was
drinking
that?
game.
I mean, like,
I couldn't hear it.
oh, you couldn't hear
I have
it?
seen most
No.
of that clip before.
I could barely
Oh.
hear it.
And
Let me replay it for you. I'm going to send it over to B1.
do you ever see the one where she's describing the difference between Russia and Ukraine?
No.
For people who don't know,
Oh.
Russia's a big country, and Ukraine is a small country.
Oh no.
And yeah.
Let's see if I
saw it
can.
recently.
If
And
it'll
you know
work.
what? I think that's all freaking smoke and mirrors too. Like, I have no idea what to believe anymore.
Oh, let's
I think
try
it's
this
all
again.
Oh, yeah.
freaking stage now, and I don't know.
There we go.
See if you can follow
Can you hear
this
it now?
logic.
Yep.
The governor and I, and we were
Your
all
on speaker.
doing a tour of the library here, and talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
What?
I don't know.
What would be the alternative to the passage of time?
Uh,
Why is this such
time
It is
stopping?
what it is.
Give all your time
Watching
to
a
them.
pot boil?
Yeah. I don't get it. Like, I mean, I understand what she's trying to say. History changes and that kind of thing, but God, she's just got this
They are changing
condescending.
history. They're
way.
friggin' everything was fine before friggin' 2 years ago.
What?
I think it was. It was
You
totally
kidding me?
fine.
What do you mean?
What's wrong with 2 years ago? Think back. Diddly 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 diddly. It was
No, it
pretty
started
good.
in 2016.
The world's been shit forever.
No, not like this. 2016 was the start. Was Ghostbusters 2016 was the harbinger of things to come.
But you know what? That was just people complaining. That's fine. I can deal with that.
Well, then you
But,
get the
like,
but
being
the people who were
shit.
complaining were being called sexist and racist and stupid shit
Yeah.
like that. You know, that's where the malignant narcissism started to come
Canada,
up.
we had legal legislation where you can't say specific words to people. That's when, that was like 2016,
Yeah,
2018.
and we had that was another thing.
But it wasn't affecting our lives too much. No, our world's been flipped upside down. Like,
Ghostbusters 2016. Yeah, it's kind of affecting our lives. That whole movie movement to wokeify everything and destroy, previous. Like, look what they did to Star Wars and Star Trek. I mean, they have
movies sucked
destroy
in the
it.
2000s too. Just-
Yeah, but
pop culture wise, I didn't give a shit.
well, and gaming too. We're not in that subculture, right? Like, so it doesn't affect us
Well,
necessarily.
yeah.
But I can see where.
Well,
you're on the
the
Yeah.
things that we let me get out of here. Come on.
Oh.
The things that we've come to love have to be destroyed and remade, and it's very Frankfurt School. More Soviet, where you have
No,
destroy the past and build
Yeah.
replace it with the correct version of it. That's what pisses me
why
off.
don't we decolonize science?
Yeah,
Because
how do you do that? I have no idea how you do that.
Decolonize Western science. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we should be working on.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like why do
Yeah.
we have to learn about these Greek philosophers for in philosophy class? Well, because that's where philosophy actually started. Get over it.
Well, I mean, obviously in other parts of the world it started
And
in
it's like,
different
we're
ways,
supposed-
but it's not like they didn't offer courses on that too.
Well, no, it was
So learn from
was
the past, not start.
what we know as philosophy today started with the Greeks. That's it. It was
Well,
that was
Western
the
philosophy, right?
formalization of philosophy began there.
In the
And
Western world.
if
I
you
mean,
don't learn about Aristotle or Plato,
They had quite the Senate back in Alexander the Great times, and yeah, they were ahead of the curve, where they were pro democracy and
Only if you were an educated white man,
well, this is
Women
you're
are
also
not so
right
much,
too,
right?
where it was also
Though some did have power.
actually, you know what?
Sappho.
Actually, the women became more empowered because they kind of inherited a lot of money from other families and blah blah blah, and it's
There were some powerful women then.
yeah, and it wasn't a misogynistic.
Well, it totally was.
Oh,
It
but
totally was.
the people
yeah.
were. But you're
it's
right.
very classist, right?
Yeah, and they were
yeah.
like, "Why are these women like enjoying themselves?" So it wasn't actually a little misogynist, actually.
Oh, totally.
But
Yeah.
they got they didn't fucking stone them or nothing.
Yeah, I won't go carry on, but because we'll go on to what's next. Because I could,
well, here I wanted to get your reaction to this. Wake Forest medical student suggests she stuck patient twice with needle after he called out her pronoun pin.
Your pronoun
wait,
pin.
wait! I just want to read.
Yeah.
A fourth-year medical student at Wake Forest University in North Carolina bragged on Twitter about purposely missing a vein while drawing blood because a patient asked about her pronoun pin. Here's a quote. "I had a patient I was doing a blood draw on see my pronoun pin and loudly laughed to the staff, 'She, her? Well, of course it is. What other pronouns even are there? It?'" Which is actually a point that I've made. So
that's like, if you don't know the gender, you just say it or they.
Or you
or
call them
you
by
don't-
their name.
You say they, not it.
Yeah.
But these people they demand that you call them by
No, and
she,
nobody.
her, or whatever. This is it's really passive aggressive behavior.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
demand. So you must call me this. And so she purposefully missed the vein, drawing blood.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
I would have expelled this person with
Well, yeah, they should
with
be,
prejudice. It's on your record. You're never going to another med school.
But she'll be backed up by the government.
Of course.
Yeah, no repercussions or nothing.
This is really this is a violation of the Hippocratic Oath. Now, a fourth-year medical student hasn't taken the oath yet, but they're supposed to act like they have.
Yeah.
And this is really a severe violation of ethics.
2 weeks paid leave.
Student, she didn't get paid.
Yeah.
So I guess there is a punishment coming, but we'll see. It better be something real.
Okay, so what happens when you try to draw blood and miss a vein?
Well, you have to stick the needle back in to get into the vein, because you don't get any blood, right? When you're doing a blood draw, you have to be in a vein.
That seems like such a stupid,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. That's,
Like I say, social justice is a narcissism factory. This is malignant narcissism on display.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hammy, jeez.
Yeah.
And where's all this prejudice against like trans and gay people? Like you don't see people just like straight up bashing them.
Oh, you did.
No.
Not in our circle.
Well,
But
just like this.
I'm not going to submit to this passive aggressive behavior. I mean, that's just not in my nature.
Oh yeah, I know.
I mean, you want me to call you by those pronouns? That's nice.
Yeah, in a social like setting, like yeah, sure. Like I'm not gonna be a dick if you want to be called fucking whatever. I'll call you whatever. But then like a legal kind of like thing, like holy no, like if I accidentally call you a she and all of a sudden I'm getting sued, like no, that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I can't remember what that bill was called.
I shouldn't be going to jail for anything that comes out of my mouth.
Yeah. Oh, time to go to the slap heard around the world.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna so I'm gonna mute us and put us off camera briefly.
Okay.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I'm going to, okay?
Oops.
Okay.
Oops.
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Bit of violence. And, you know, a lot of people were saying that...
it's the Oscars. Everybody's laughing and having a great time. And Chris...
Shut up. Okay. You know, like, oh, we can't make fun of somebody's medical condition as if alopecia is like AIDS or something.
Yeah, it's very common.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier, and
Oh, sorry, keep going.
I found it very condescending that he would just assume that he should jump in there on behalf of his wife. Like, okay, I've been
it's
having
sexist,
conversations
certainly.
for a little bit. I remember when I was about 19 years old, and I was with my boyfriend. We were at a party, and some guy came up and grabbed me by the butt, just in passing, or whatever kind of thing. I thought it was
Natural
stupid.
instinct to stand up for your girl, though. Don't find it
Yeah.
misogynistic.
I do. Well, no, the lesson I learned, because then boyfriend went up and punched that guy's twin brother. Right?
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Uh-huh. So that's why I learned, okay, you deal with your own shit,
Oh,
Chris.
shit.
And if you really need help, then you ask for help, right? Generally, I can handle those situations. And that's why I found it kind of condescending because, I wouldn't want somebody, God, I'd be so fucking embarrassed if somebody went up and slapped somebody in defense of me. It's like, oh, I'm such a weak woman. I can't, maybe shoot, shit right back at him on Twitter or something like that, right? The white knighting shit,
I bet you if we surveyed...
And that's ironic.
Yeah. I bet you if we surveyed 100 women, I bet you it'd be 50-50 with women.
Maybe.
Where, like, yeah, I'd like my man to stand up for me. Or, yeah, you should just stay out of it. Like, I bet you it'd be probably pretty split down the middle.
It depends on yeah.
I have a medical condition, too, that I'm sure nobody should make fun of. It's called autosomal dominant compelling helio-ophthalmic outburst.
And what is it?
So you
Can I
kind of
make fun of it?
just say what's on your mind? Is that what
No, I sneeze when I look at the sun. Hey, don't laugh! Don't laugh!
Oh, shit.
Actually, I thought
I'm going to come there and slap.
prevent. Okay, I've got eczema on my eyelids.
It's actually a genetic thing. People that sneeze when they look at the sun. And the number of times you do it is also genetic determined. For me,
Well,
it's 2.
huh. Oh, no, that's okay. I'm thinking, okay, so I had my job, orthodontist when I was a kid, right? And the way to prevent yourself from sneezing is to tickle the roof of your mouth with your tongue. And if you want to sneeze, then you look at a light, apparently.
Yeah, but some
Yeah.
people don't have that reflex.
Oh, okay. That's fascinating. Yeah.
Sneezing's the best feeling in the world.
It is, isn't it?
I
It's
love
like, they compare it to
Oh, it's a
orgasm.
relief when you can
Yeah,
feel a
it's like-
sneeze coming
it's
on.
something.
Yeah, you get to get rid of it. I think did you hear what Jim Carrey had to say about this?
I didn't
Yeah,
click on
briefly.
it. Oh, did I
It's
click?
really good. Have a listen to this.
I was saddened by it, and also, I know that there are things going on in Will's life and his relationship, and it's a complex world. I see it as a larger issue, and it's an issue of the boundaries being broken. Boundaries and allowances and permissiveness to certain behaviors. And the fact is that license is being given to people to act out violently when they don't like what they hear. I also think that people, not unlike Will or myself, we live in a lot of pressure. We set up a lot of pressure for ourselves. We're encouraged by this country to never stop and never be satisfied and never look at our lives and going, you know what, I'm enough. I have enough. I've done enough. I don't need 9 businesses. I don't need to be a movie producer, director, writer, actor, star, and have a record company, and be on TikTok, and be on social media, and have a reality show, and share my innermost life on some therapy show. It's beyond our bandwidth. And we're starting to see the symptoms of what it's like to be living beyond your bandwidth and cracking under the pressure. That's what that was. It was more than just an insult to someone's wife. Jade is a tough girl. She can defend herself. She wasn't being physically attacked. What that was someone who's, beyond the bandwidth. And in that moment, he thought more about how he was looking in that moment than what was the right thing to do. And I don't condemn him for it. It's just wrong.
Yeah, it is just
So
wrong.
in the middle, and Will Smith cared about his.
Well, look at how
image
Denzel
then.
Washington advised him.
But
right?
I think it's kind of ironic how Jim Carrey was talking just about how, it shouldn't be like an idol and all this stuff. Meanwhile, like, who gives a shit about your opinion, Jim, just because you're a friggin' celebrity too? Like, it kind of
That's
seems
true.
ironic and hypocritical. He's like,
Well, it was the thing about I had no idea that Jada and Will had this open relationship,
yeah, no.
which
who-
seems really
who
screwed up to me
cared about
because
them until, yeah.
Yeah,
she's-
I didn't give a rat's ass. I didn't even know he was married, for fuck's sake. I
I didn't
don't
either.
care about this shit. I am unpop cultured for.
I knew you said
Good
Jaden
reasons
was
as
a
well as
bit of
bad,
a kind of a.
Well, she cheated on him.
Yeah.
So
well, she doesn't think it's cheating because she told him.
Well,
Whatever.
then
I
you know
We're
what?
just screwed
That's
up.
between them.
Yeah,
Yes, I
exactly.
know.
That's up to Will
I don't
then.
need to have their fucking problems in my face when I'm trying to enjoy the Oscars, which I really don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Like, they-
Yeah, I
You
don't
didn't
want to
know
watch
it
the
was a
Oscars.
thing until fucking a
Yeah.
week ago.
But like I said, if they're gonna have cage matches, I'm in. I want to. I'll see it. I'll pay money to see it. Can you imagine going for an Oscar best takedown? Yeah, best tag team. What else could they do? All sorts of things. I mean, it'd be far more entertaining than it is now. I mean, when I was a kid, I watched the Oscars all the
Put
time.
them all in a jumping.
A three-legged
like-
sack race. Fucking
Oh, it's got to have
ants.
something like with chainsaws if you're gonna do that.
No, I'm thinking put them all in, those big bouncy ball tents. Shove them in there and see what
Ah.
happens.
Yeah, see who survives.
At the
And
trucker
those
rally,
that
right?
lose, right? You wrap them in Velcro and you stick them to a wall.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
What?
It's a quote.
Oh, I should know it.
Yeah, you should. It's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Oh no, of course I don't know that. I did see it.
You're
But
not serious? Oh, you got to know that one. That's the rule of Thunderdome.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
I'm not gonna say that I might have been a little bit drunk when I went to see Mad Max way back in the day, underage drinking. You could do that in a theater, you know.
Mel Gibson's
you could be
hilarious.
14 years old and sneak a Mickey into. You could even smoke in the theaters and that kind of stuff when I was. So yeah, don't remember it so well. Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, I haven't. The only movie that I'm looking forward to. Well, actually, Sonic 2 might be good. Jim Carrey was awesome in Sonic the Hedgehog. He was old school Jim Carrey.
I never heard of this.
No, it's worth a watch just to watch Jim Carrey. He's totally hamming it up.
Freaking old school.
Oh, total old school. Yeah.
Nice.
He's come full circle, and now the release of Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Ace has got to be in my top 3 comedies of all time.
Yeah, he really brings to life one of the characters from the game, and I'm looking forward to that one. I'm also looking forward to Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick, the sequel.
Reboot.
Oh.
Type of
It's
thing?
not a reboot. It's an actual sequel.
Well.
Okay.
See, that's why the G.I. Jane joke kind of flew right over my head because I'm like, is she doing a role in a new movie?
No, it's because of the bald head.
Yeah,
head.
and Demi Moore, who frankly was fucking gorgeous, you know, with her head shaved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah,
Demi
totally.
Moore, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she had the head for it.
Jada looks great as far as I'm
Jada?
concerned.
No, I don't think she does.
Yeah.
No.
Natalie Portman too. She had the.
That's
bald
right.
head too. Yeah.
And
pulled
she's
it
the
up.
poison pill in that relationship for sure. I mean, she's the
I don't know.
she's the puppet master in that relationship. Airing out their relationship. It's just like that's screwed up.
It is. Yeah.
And he's just accepted it.
Well, clearly not. Clearly, he's gone off the fucking deep end.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think that's what
I mean, I
more
have
than anything
sympathy
else
in
is
that
doing it.
sense, but- Yeah.
Is
Kinda
causing that.
Similar what I did with Karen Hunter.
Yeah.
Going over defensive with her. Interesting shit too.
So
A moment of psychology.
yeah. That's all I got for tonight.
Okay.
Hey, that's not bad.
That's true. Well, what do we got?
10:13.
No? Okay.
That's
yeah.
good. That's good place to leave off because it's at roughly an hour.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if we had any comments or anything, but oh well.
Oh, I'm going to check actually because I'm switching back and forth between windows here. No comments.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Not good,
So-
but I'd rather have comments. But yeah, sure. So I think we'll call it there. And
Okay.
so I can go to bed.
Thank you for having
Yeah, it's
Skylar
great.
on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Skylar.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're among many
Fun.
esteemed guests. You know that.
Ah.
We've had some pretty awesome guests on here. So, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Say hello to Rhonda. Oh,
Yeah, I will. Say good night.
yeah. Good night.